Hello folks, it's Tuesday and welcome to another Top 5. Today I list my top 5 movies that you must see from the 80s and 90s before you die, which may be soon, and poor you. Number 5. The Lethal Weapon trilogy. What do you get when your hot-headed cop who wants to kill himself is partnered with a wisecracking, by-the-book partner who's getting too old for this shit? Hilarity, of course! Directed by Richard Donner, yes, that Richard Donner, and produced by Joel Silver, written by Shane Black. From most we know from Terminator and Iron Man 3, it stars Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, as they play a pair of mismatched LAPD detectives. Martin Riggs, a former US Army soldier who's turned suicidal following the death of his wife, and Roger Murtaugh, a 50-year-old veteran of the Force. The movie was released on March 6, 1987, and the release of the movie grossed over $120 million against a production budget of $15 million. The movie showed range of Mel Gibson, which later became a documentary of his personal life, if you go to YouTube and see his anti-Semitic rants. Yeah. Number 4. Batman and Batman Returns. These movies single-handedly changed the landscape of, well, Batman as a character. It also gives him a different take on the Joker, who's sadistic, psychopathic, and manipulative at a time when the character was seen as, well, kind of campy. It also gave a look at Michael Keaton's portrayal of both Bruce Wayne and Batman, which were groundbreaking to say the least. Burton tops this with Batman Returns, which gives us both Danny DeVito and Michelle Pfeiffer portraying the roles of Catwoman and Penguin, respectively. It is a more darker and gritty take on the Batman universe, which changed the archetype of the superheroes and how they were basically designed for years to come. Number 3. Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. The supernatural comedy produced by Ivan Reitman, written by Dan Aykroyd, Harold Ramis, and starring the legendary Bill Murray, my idol, follows the adventures of 4 psychologists who combat the paranormal. What makes these movies so good is the fact that with the awesome improv, the cheesy effects, and great character development, it's an underdog story about a group of individuals who are trying to save the world who technically don't want them to save them. The actors are hilarious and they take on the 4 Ghostbusters of Peter, Egon, Ray, and Winston, and has a sort of an everyman feel to it. It's kind of 4 guys trying to do what they can to save the world whilst everyone else watches, twiddling their thumbs in a bit of tongue-in-cheek with sublime execution, and, well, the matter is kind of treated like a scam. Their business is treated like a joke, and those who don't understand them, well, keep accusing them of doing this, that, and everything else. It's like someone looked at society and said, yep, this is the reason why we're in the shitter. Ignorance and stupidity. Number 2. Goodfellas. When most people talk about mob movies, the first thing that comes to mind are usually movies like Scarface or The Godfather, to name a few. But for me, this movie holds a special place in my heart. Directed by Martin Scorsese, it's a film adaptation of the 1986 non-fiction book Wise Guy. This changed my perception of the awesome Joe Pesci and showed a stellar performance from the already prominent Robert De Niro, and also gave a groundbreaking performance by Ray Liotta. It's a pseudo-documentary on the rise and fall of mob associates over the period of 1955 to 1980. Think of kind of like the style of Wolf of Wall Street in a sense and apply it to this. It's very gritty, kind of a mafia movie, and it's also very funny as well. It's one of those movies where the main character never learns a valuable lesson as to what he does. He just goes in there, experiences all this nuttery and chicanery, and then comes out the other side thinking, well, I saved my own hide, so hey. A critical success in its own right, and Goodfellas kind of encompasses what I believe to be one of the best mob movies not named The Godfather. And finally, Back to the Future trilogy. This movie, quite like Ghostbusters, holds a special place in my heart because it's a great story of Marty McFly along with his best friend and gentleman by the name of Emmett Brown as they travel through time. It's kind of 2 people breaking barriers and then wondering what the hell's going on after the hilarious consequences get them in trouble. Starring the awesome duo of Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, Back to the Future encompasses the elements of time travel and cool looking kind of machines such as the DeLorean. And yes, we all know it's a shitty car, but one can dream. Who didn't want to own a DeLorean back in those days? This movie is both hilarious at the time and also heartwarming as well. It's a big part of, well, my childhood, exposing me to a universe of anything is possible. As far as that ideal is concerned, it's watching a young Michael J. Fox take the lead and show the reason why he was one of the biggest actors in Hollywood at the time. The movie is a pop culture icon and it's directed by Robert Zemeckis and produced by Steven Spielberg's Amblin Entertainment. If you're a geek and you haven't seen this movie, then what's stopping you? Well, that's it from me, guys. I will see you again for another top 5. And I know this week has been kind of crazy. I've been trying to get back on track from last week. I took a little bit of a break because I was getting extremely stressed out with personal stuff. But I'm back and I've got some awesome content coming your way with another top 5. We have a rather rich review. And also in the latter of the week, we have a huge comics rundown. So I shall see you soon.